I gotta take, this is Sensei, okay? I gotta take the lead on this one because when I was a kid, one of my favorite movie series was Karate Kid, all right? Tell me about your character and how it leads up to the new series, Cobra Kai, which is now bringing the franchise back to YouTube Red.
Well, we're at 17 million viewers at this point, you know, and it's 5 days, you know. Yeah, it's all in the writing. I mean, the writers, the creators of the show came up to me back in September and said, we'd like to do this show, and we're going to bring you in on the 10th episode. And I said, why do I have to come in on the 10th episode? I can't come in on the 6th, the 7th. He says, no, you're going to set up season 2. Oh. And you come in as a surprise. Ooh. And so they, you know, I had a little dream. I had a little dream of how my character would enter and smoke a cigar and lean against it, because I know what the dojo still looks like. Right. You know, and the dojo on Lancashire still is like a storefront. Half of it's 2 different businesses. And so I had this vision where I'm leaning against the storefront, smoking a cigar, and then Ralph and Billy come out. And I say, well, you know, hello to my former students, to former karate students. And then I look at them and I say, but which one of you is the real hero? Ooh. And boom, and I just had that vision, and then all of a sudden they wrote something quite similar with me walking in and saying, but the real story's just begun. Yeah, I love it. You know, and it was quite similar to the dream. So I guess it's all kind of meant to be, you know?
Tell us about the impact that this character had on your career. Now, a lot of us recognize you from movies like Rambo, but you know, this character seems probably one of your, you probably get recognized on the street more than anything else for your Karate Kid character?
Yeah, pretty much that, Cagney and Lacey, you know, and Rambo as well. The things that mean the most to me, oddly enough, in my career are doing Westerns. Right. I mean, I really, you know, just loved Wyatt Earp and The Gambler and a variety of like a dozen Westerns I've done. You know, I'm really big into rejuvenating the Western and getting it back, you know, the original American heritage of cinema, you know, back in the early silent days even. But, you know, how the character has evolved. You know, John Kreese is a guy that you either love him or you love to hate him.
Yeah.
You know?
Those are the best characters, though.
Well, it's always interesting when the bad guy turns good, you know, in a movie. It's always very interesting. And John Kreese hasn't turned good yet.
So we like it like that, though, I think. It keeps up the drama on the series.
It does. It keeps it going, and I have no idea what they're writing for me. Wow. He could be, I've had it live for 7 months. People say, are you in the series? And I would say, no, John Kreese is dead. No, John Kreese is in jail. I would say he's in jail. He's working for the CIA. He's working for the KGB. I would make up, he's dead. Right. You know, I would make up all this stuff. And of course, no one believes you, you know, because it's called Cobra Kai. So they kind of figure, you got to be there.
Are you a good loser or a bad loser in real life?
No, well,
like, you know what I mean? Because like in the movies, you know, he doesn't like to lose. You know, he gets pissed off about that.
That's a good question, right? Well, remember, that character, the backstory for that character was that he never lost. John Kreese never lost, whether he was high school, whether he was junior high, whether he was college, whether he was military, he never lost. And then he went to Vietnam, and our boys were not allowed to win who went to Vietnam, you know. So he came back and he swore that everybody in his dojo, all his students, when he opened the dojo, all of them would literally never lose, no matter what, under any circumstances. And that's how the character evolved. You know, now it's really interesting, because when I sat at dinner with the writers back in September, and I said, well, when you bring him back, is he going to be good guy? Is he going to be what he was? And they looked at me, and the little twinkle in all three, you know, in Josh and John and Hayden's eye was, he's going to be a little good.
What?
And he's going to be a little bad.
Oh, yeah.
So I just like lived with it, you know. I didn't know where he would go, but it's endless. What you can do. These guys are so talented, these writers, they could do anything.
Now, as an actor who did a lot of major broadcasts, you know, primetime shows and a lot of major films, have you gotten used to, hey, this is going to be a YouTube series? Like, how do you feel about that? And did it take time for you to realize, okay, no, this is actually up to par, you know, doing something for the web is now on par with, you know, major television shows on broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, look at what you have to do. You know, it's a digital experience. So it's not like just turning on and you get channel 2, turning on and you get channel 4. You've got to, you know, subscribe. You've got to play with the phone, play with your computer. You have to make a designated effort to watch this show on YouTube Red. You know, and that's the whole streaming world is. It's very complimentary to the show because you've got to do an awful lot to get set up and perform the viewing process.
Right.
You know, it's not like the old days. And I just think that people really need to be entertained with good material.
Yes.
I remember back in the day when we did Cagney and Lacey, they would take current events from the New York Times. And, you know, in those days, I didn't get a lot to do on that show. The girls would get the great homicide jobs, and as policemen, I would look for missing persons in public latrines. You know, so it was kind of like you just, you know, take what you get. You're part of a really good show that had terrific writing, and so you lived with that. You know.
We're
Quickly,
excited to have you back. Trust me.
You're probably gonna lie about this one. Any talks to be in the new Cagney and Lacey or even the new Rambo?
It's interesting you say that. Yeah, the new Cagney and Lacey has one African American and one white person, but it's different. And the part I wanted was the part of the captain, who is actually a black actor. And so they changed things around. But I would come back. I don't think my character was intelligent enough to make it the captain anyway. You know. So, you know, Victor as Becky is kind of, you know, he would still be there. You know, the closest thing he could do to, you know, becoming a marshal in the West is working in the 14th precinct.